season as a wild card, as part of a wild card team. He's played wild card weekend, but he's never been on a wild card. Meanwhile, you should know this. Teams to beat Brady in the playoffs have averaged 27 points a game. Washington has only scored 27 points 3 times this season. And no quarterback had a higher QBR drop-off between no pressure and pressure than Brady. His QBR is 84 when there's no pressure. It's 6 when there is. And so he's going up against a Washington team that can put some heat on the quarterback. Yesterday, Tampa coach Bruce Arians was asked if this has already been a successful season for his team. Listen to this answer.
We'll see. See how far this goes. It won't be if we don't win this one. That's for sure. And really, it's not going to be if we don't put rings on our fingers, because once you're in the tournament, that's what you're playing for. And so we did enough to get here, and now it will not be satisfying unless we finish it.
It don't mean a thing if you don't get the ring, Bart Scott. That's what Bruce Arians says. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think that's true, but I think it's going to be tough sledding for them to go into Green Bay after this week and beat Aaron Rodgers. I think no quarterback is playing better. No team is playing better. But I think that this should be a game that they should get. But this is a game that's intriguing to me simply because whenever we've seen Tom Brady struggle, it's been at night. Recently, past his bedtime, past his nap time. But it's also been whenever you have an ability to get 4 pass rushers to be able to harass him. You think about the NASCAR package from both of those Giants teams. They have Ryan Kerrigan coming off 5th. You got Montez Sweat on the outside. And one thing this team doesn't do enough of that they're going to have to rediscover in the playoffs is running the football, being able to salt the game away. Because when you throw the ball as many times as they throw the ball, you always give the opponent an opportunity to get back in the game because there's always time left on the clock. Incompletions stop the clock. They're going to have to run the ball. They're 28th in the league in running the ball, and that's a shame when you have a running back as good as Leonard Fournette, you have Ronald Jones, and you have Shady McCoy. They're going to have to mix it up, and if they don't mix it up, it's going to be a short campaign this year, and it's going to be a disappointing season, and they won't get a chance to get that ring, and he's going to have to burn the Kangos.
All right, well, so as far as this weekend is concerned, Rob Ninkovich, that's your guy, Tom Brady. Is this a defense, this young defense led by Chase Young and all those guys on that line, can they wreck this game? Is this a defense that can do to Brady what that NASCAR package Giants defense did to him once upon a time?
I don't think so, because those teams that affected him the most have great interior inside push. And when I say inside push, I mean their ability to get pressure inside the pocket. Tom Brady, who's going to step up. If you have guys coming off the edge, he is the best at feeling pressure, stepping up into the pocket and avoiding pressure. So I don't know if Washington can get pressure on the inside. If they blitz up the middle, maybe a little bit. But on the edges, they love to pin their ears back and just get up the field. That is kind of Tom's forte. He's going to get back in his drop. He's going to feel the pressure. He's going to step up. So they're going to have some type of inside pressure to affect him the most.
All right, so that's something to watch for the game. And then, Ryan, let me finish this with you. Your buddy Dominique Foxworth said yesterday he doesn't see any way Washington wins this game because of the other point that we made here. You have to score points to beat Tom Brady in the playoffs, and he's not convinced they can. Can Washington put up 27, which is what it looks like they need to win this game?
Hell no, Greeny. Ain't no way. Not gonna happen. No, the only way to do that, right? If their best player, or it seems like the guy who's best with the football in his hands, Chase Young, actually gets his hand on the football again. If they could create pressure on Tom Brady and force turnovers. But listen, Alex Smith has without a doubt been the greatest story of this season. He's the comeback player of the year. He's 5-1 as the starting quarterback, but he's already hobbled. So much so that Taylor Heineke getting some snaps this game has been a topic of conversation for the Washington football team. And so you go into a game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have a young secondary, who have rushers on the outside, 2 of the best linebackers in the league as far as a duo is concerned in White and David, and you're expecting to score 27 points on this team. It's not going to happen. It's going to have to be a stellar outing by this Washington football defense in order for this game to even be close. And if you're expecting the Washington football team to go out and put up big points against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you are sorely misguided. I think this game is a wash. I believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers run away with it, not just because they can score points, but because they'll be able to dominate the Washington football team when they're on offense.
And so that's the point. If that offense looks really good, Bart, will that convince you? I got 30 seconds. Will that convince you they could go? The matchups could send them to Green Bay next weekend. It's not definite. But if they put up 35 points against this defense, would that convince you they can beat the Packers?
No, not at all. Not until I see them rush for over 100 yards and show me some balance. Show me a game plan that's designed to be able to beat Green Bay. Green Bay Achilles heel is being able to stop the run. And to do that, you have to loosen them up by saying, hey, you got to keep these safeties out of this box. If I don't have to respect the run game, then I'm going to sit back and those windows that's going to be open from play action won't be there in the playoffs. And tip balls change games, Greeny.
All right, so we've got a lot to watch for in that game on Saturday night. Meanwhile, playoffs this weekend, where the big question in Cleveland is whether the Browns will be able to reopen their facility today as they prepare for Sunday's playoff game against the Steelers. But quarterback Baker Mayfield says one way or the other, he's not worried about their compromised week of practice.
If you guys, wind up not having a practice this week, what impact is that going to have on you Sunday night?
It won't have an impact.
All right, our Kimberly Martin is covering that game, actually covered Steelers-Browns a week ago, and here you are back with them again. What is the latest as far as the Browns' ability to get any work done?
This is worst-case scenario, Greeny, for a team that was just trying to make the playoffs for the first time since 2002 and now trying to get its first playoff win since 94. We already talked about Kevin Stefanski not being able to coach on Sunday because he has COVID. They added another player yesterday, safety Ronnie Harrison, now is added to a list that includes Joel Bitonio, their longest tenured Brown. This team hasn't been able to practice all week. And you heard Baker Mayfield said it won't make a difference. But virtual walkthroughs can only get you so far. And game day, playoff time, is a big deal. But this Browns team is using it as motivation. Jarvis Landry said yesterday, look, we are going to try to win for the guys who are not here. Bitonio, this is for you. So they've got motivation. But will they be able to beat the Steelers is another question.
No, it is. I agree with you. It's the worst case scenario. And the question is not whether it's fair or not. We've been saying it all year long. Right. Fairness is not the first priority in getting things done this season only. And this would be the only time we'd say it's okay. Now, with regard to this game, Juju Smith-Schuster, who has been known to add a little fuel to the fire in a lot of other circumstances, may have done so with these comments about the Browns. Listen.
Nah, I think they're still the same Browns team up every year. I think they're nameless, great faces. Yes, they have a couple good players on their team, but at the end of the day, I don't know, it's the Browns, it's the Browns. And that's just one of those things that, AFC North football, and they're a good team, but I'm just happy we're playing them again, this Sunday.
Right. I turned to my former Steeler friend, Mr. Clark. What do we make of that?
Ryan.
Listen, Greeny,